ICE has singled out sanctuary cities. Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested 216 non-citizens who face criminal charges and convictions as part of the agency's latest nationwide operation. Over a period of 12 days earlier this month, agents across the country moved in on at-large immigration offenders. The operation was part of the ICE mission to target those in the country illegally who pose a risk to public safety, officials said. This is where, now there's millions of people that have come here. 216 arrests is a drop in the bucket. Just by virtue of averages, law of averages in an average society, and I don't think that it's any different in the immigrant population than it is in any other population, the number of people that are dangerous versus the number of people that aren't. So I'm not saying that there is an overabundance of people that have come to this country illegally that make them dangerous. But if the averages are the same, and there are millions of people that have come here illegally, there's a higher number than 216 of them that are dangerous and are criminals and shouldn't have been allowed in the first place. That's an overwhelmed system. That's my point. We have an overwhelmed system. And until we fix it, Americans are not going to be happy. We have got to secure the border. Health concerns mount for migrant children at outdoor holding sites. A federal judge is expected to rule soon on whether the government must provide shelter, food, and medical care to minors while they await processing. Do you remember the uproar during the Trump administration of separated families and minors in cages being covered up with what looked like aluminum foil blankets? Where's the outrage of what's happening now at the southern border? So those are the backstories. Now, this is the irony. I mentioned this earlier. This is from Politico. This is not from a website that is some kind of a conservative-leaning, anti-Biden. This is Politico. Egypt has asked the United States, as part of a broader peace agreement or a peace negotiation, ceasefire negotiation between Israel and Hamas, they've asked the U.S. as a part of this negotiation to give them money, and it's going to be millions, if not billions of dollars, to secure the border between northern Egypt and southern Gaza. So you've got all of the stories out there about the Palestinians in Gaza that are starving, that are being killed because of the ongoing war. And who's to blame? Israel. Not only will Egypt not open its gates and allow immigration, allow asylum into their country, they want the U.S. to help pay for more border security. And I guarantee you we're going to do it. This is what frustrates Americans. Now, I would say to you, the direction it makes me want to go is I have anybody that is suffering in a war-torn country that is looking for refuge and a safe place for their children, we all have a heart for. We are a nation of asylum and a nation of refuge, and we should continue to be as a nation. When what's going on in Haiti, we should have a place for Haitians to come here. After what's happened in Afghanistan, especially since the people of Afghanistan that helped the Americans for over 20 years should have safe passage to the U.S. I believe in all of that. You mean to tell me that the Egyptians shouldn't be allowing the Palestinian refugees through the gates, and we shouldn't, if we're going to give them millions of dollars, it shouldn't be to help them feed and clothe and keep safe the innocent Palestinians from Gaza? Instead, we're being asked to help them secure their border to keep the refugees out. Which is the American policy? We're going to help secure your border, but it's a sin for us to secure ours? We need to stop the illegal flow. We don't need to stop the entire flow. We need to make sure that the good people that have asylum claims into the U.S., legitimate asylum claims into the U.S., have an expedited asylum claim and they have safe passage into the U.S. And we need to make sure much quicker that the people that have false claims are identified quickly, turned around, and deported back to where they came from. That would be a great solution. We are overwhelmed to the tune of a 10-year waiting list. And now you've got ICE rounding up, and I'm glad they've rounded up anyone, but we've got now ICE in a program that's rounded up 216 people, and we're supposed to celebrate as if somehow they've put a dent into what the problem is. This shows what the problem is. We can continue to talk about immigration, or we can talk about border security first. we can stem the tide of illegal passage into the U.S., and then we have the immigration conversation on what to do with the people that are already in this country. But we aren't doing that. We are having a conversation about people in this country while we have an open border and allowing people in, some of them dangerous, into this country to continue to commit crimes and prey upon the American people. All at the same time, we will end up giving money to the Egyptian government to secure their border so that the people in need of the Palestinians in need in Gaza do not have safe passage and refuge into Egypt. Why is it those Arab nations aren't taking them? Worth a question.
Thanks for watching the Mike Broomhead Show. Tap to watch the first season of Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast. You can also click the button in the middle to subscribe.